Hi everyone, I am here again in my kitchen, and today I'm making something very out of the ordinary for me. Now, this is not actually for me, and that's why it's out of the ordinary. This is for my son. So, as those of you who've been following me know, he decided to go ahead and do a ketogenic diet for a month, for 30 days, to see how that might affect his ADHD. And we just finished 2 weeks of doing that. Now, the deal that I made with him was that we would look for some desserts that he could have to replace his ice cream. And the boy has been so patient because I bought a Ninja Creamy thinking that I would make some ice cream for him that was, keto friendly, that he could replace his sugary store-bought ice cream with. And we had one sort of success. And then we had one where we ended up just melting it down and he drank it like a milkshake. And the rest, it just made butter, like gross butter. And yeah, I'm still learning. I'm still working with that machine to get something that, doesn't contain too much milk. I mostly just wanted the heavy cream and eggs, Dr. Kilt style. That was a fail. It just made butter. So with that being said, shout out to Anita at Ketogenic Woman, because this is her recipe. She posted this video the other day and I just couldn't believe the timing. I would have made it that day, but I needed to buy a couple of the ingredients, which I have done. And usually when I do a recipe, I will generally look something up online, but I will tweak it or tailor it to make it my own. Yeah, not in this case. I don't want to throw away one more thing. So I am going to try to follow Anita's recipe, basically step by step, and see if I can't get this to work. And what the recipe is some keto fudgy cookies. Okay, so the ingredients for this recipe, and I have it printed out here. It's not my recipe, just so I don't forget anything, but it is 2 scoops of the Equip protein, any flavor. Now it's already going to be chocolate, so I'm not using chocolate protein powder. I'm going to use the vanilla Equip Prime Protein. Then it's going to be 2 tablespoons granulated sweetener, and it specifically said not allulose. Well, the sweetener I've been using for my son is allulose. So I actually had to buy some. So I'm not, super enthused about this because there's erythritol in here, but I couldn't really find anything else that I thought would work that didn't have maltodextrin, which I'm even less enthused about. And it's going to be a small amount. So I went ahead and got this. It's like the monk fruit sweetener. Okay. The next ingredient is 3 to 5 tablespoons of the Dutch processed cocoa powder. And she specified 2224. You guys, I don't know what 2224 means, but I searched for it and I found it. So it says there goes the recipe. Right here on the label, 2224. Anita did say something in her video. It has to do with the fat ratio. I mean, it smells good, you guys. And I'm going to go on the lower end of this. So 3 to 5 tablespoons. I'm going to go with 3 tablespoons. And that's because this isn't the only chocolate. Okay, now I got to go pick that up. LOL. At least it was just a piece of paper and not an egg. Okay, so the next one is a 1/2 tablespoon of collagen. This is another thing I had to buy. I had purchased gelatin, but I had not purchased collagen. So I got that. Now, if you could see behind me, Pixel gets very excited whenever I start making videos. She found the receipt that was sitting on the table behind me, or behind the camera, I should say, and decided it should not be sitting on the table. And she's currently batted it off the table, and now she's playing with it over there. So I am being thoroughly entertained as I am attempting to entertain you. Okay, so collagen, I had to buy this for this recipe. And so if you hear noise, that's her. Anyway, okay, sorry. A half a teaspoon of baking powder. This one I've been using this in the protein pancakes and things like that. I also use this in the microwave muffin that I make for myself with the pork panko crumbs and the egg and butter and a little bit of this. It makes a delicious muffin. 2 large eggs, which I need to go get out of the fridge, but I will do that. 1/3 of a cup melted butter, okay, which I've already got melted here. And then 1/4 cup stevia sweetened chocolate chips. Okay, so this is for my son, so I went with the milk chocolate chips. I almost went with white chocolate. I think those would be good too. I'm not going to taste these, so I don't know, but I decided to go with milk chocolate. I wanted the lilies, but they didn't have those, and so I went with these, which they're called Bake Believe. Now, I will say, it says that they are stevia sweetened, and they do have stevia, but they also have some more erythritol. So when I can get the lilies, which are just stevia sweetened, I will do that. So yeah, I've got these going on for today. I'm going to go ahead now and move my camera over so you can see what's going on in my bowl over here. We're going to put these cookies together and pop them in the oven. I will also say that I've been preheating my oven to 350, so you'll probably hear that go off in a minute, like it's going to be ready any second now. Yeah, so that's been preheating, so we need that oven at 350 degrees. Okay, I've got my bowl all set up, and I'm going to start putting in the ingredients. It doesn't say to do any particular order, but I am going to go ahead and do, I guess, dry ingredients first, followed by wet ingredients. So I've got 2 scoops of the Equip Vanilla Prime Protein. The scoop is included in the bag. The way that I get this is I do Amazon Prime and then I do subscribe and save, because you save, I forget if it's 10 or 15%. I think it's 15% actually. And I just get this delivered on a subscribe and save basis. I'll have a link to all this stuff below in the description because I do shop on Amazon a lot. So there you go. There's the 2 scoops of the protein, 2 tablespoons granulated sweetener, not allulose. For me, this is what I'm using. I'm going to go a little under. So 1 and, 2/3, little under, because I am using milk chocolate chips. They're a little sweeter, right? I don't know. Okay, 3 to 5 tablespoons of the Dutch processed cocoa powder, the 2224. You probably couldn't see that before, but there we go, 2224. And I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of that. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm going to save the chocolate chips for the end. I've got them already measured out. It's 1/4 cup of the chocolate chips. Those are measured out. But to that, I'm going to add my liquid ingredients, which are the melted butter, and the 2 eggs, which I did get out of the fridge. I've got chocolate all over my hand, you guys. 1 and 2. All right, I'm going to rinse my hands because I always get egg on my hands when I crack my eggs. Does that happen to you guys? Maybe I'm an amateur. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to rinse my hands. I'm going to get my mixer and get that mixed together. I'm emphasizing here that I need a spatula because on this recipe it does say that they are fudgy. They are fudgy keto protein cookies, and as you can see, we've got fudginess going on. So I'm going to get a spatula and kind of scrape this down a little bit. It really is like, you know, like a brownie batter. I've never liked brownies, you guys, but I have made a lot of brownies for my kids. I don't do that anymore, but in the past, it's like brownie batter. So I'm just gonna get any leftover powder, scrape it off the sides, and now maybe you can see why I use such a large bowl, and it's because when you first start up this mixer, the cocoa powder and the other powders, you know, it kind of like, you know, it poofs up at you. So that kept it all pretty contained. Okay, and if you are wondering, I did the mixer just on one, like on the lowest setting. I think that was actually sufficient. Every time I do something like this, it reminds me of being a little kid and my mom would let me lick these, you guys. I'm not going to be tasting these. These, first of all, are probably too chocolatey for my liking, but even if they're not, would probably set me off on a sweet craving that I just don't want. So my son is going to be the taste tester on these, the guinea pig on these, but this batter does look really thick and delicious. I am going to show this to him before I make it into cookies, and I bet his eyes get big and round. I'll let you know. Okay, this is the 1/4 cup of the stevia sweetened and with a little erythritol sweetened chocolate chips. And I'm just going to stir those in. Just you're going to use my spatula since it's already dirtied, right? Might as well save a dish. So I've got just a regular baking sheet lined with parchment paper here. And I'm going to just use this big spoon. I don't have like one of those disher scooper things. So I'm just going to use this big spoon and the spatula to form these into some little cookies here. So I got 8 cookies out of that. I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 degrees, and they are going to stay in there for 15 minutes. Then we're going to let them cool. And what Anita said about this was they are better when refrigerated. So we're going to go ahead and do all of that. And I will show you again when I pull them out of the oven what they look like and after they're refrigerated. So into the oven go these guys. You guys, here's a surprise view of the picanha I made today. I mean, it is perfect. So good. So good. I just sliced it open while I was waiting for the cookies. I thought I would show you guys. I love this recipe. I've got this on my channel. I'll try to put it up there. Hopefully I can get that card thing right. I'll try to put it there for you guys, or I'll link it down below, or both. Yeah, delicious. Okay, but what this video is really about is these cookies. So here they are. As they came out of the oven, I'm going to let them cool and put them in the refrigerator. And then we'll let the boy give it a taste. What teenage boy doesn't like a cookie and milk for an afternoon snack? It's 2 p.m. I'm going to take this into my son Fingers crossed he likes these. They certainly smell like brownies. Like I said, I'm not going to taste them, but I'll get back to you on what he says. I'll give you his words. How's that? He doesn't like to be on camera, you guys. Okay, so I have the report. Here's what he said. He said it's a little bit bitter. Now, I will tell you, if you're someone, I didn't taste it. I'm thinking the reason is maybe that Dutch processed cocoa, it's a little darker. This is a boy who doesn't like dark chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate. So for him, next time, maybe a regular cocoa powder instead of the other one. If you're someone who likes semi-sweet or dark chocolate, probably this would be for you. He did eat the whole thing though, and he ate it in like 5 or 6 bites. So he ate it all. And I think for the rest of them, he'll eat the rest too. I think for the rest of them, I'll make a little whipped cream out of some heavy cream and a little sweetener and vanilla. And he can sort of dip the cookie in there, you know, and then that might kind of help with that flavor. I think this was a win for sure. And with a couple of tweaks for my child whose palate is not acclimated to dark chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate, I think that'll be good. Thank you so much, Anita, a ketogenic woman, for this recipe. I think that it was a success today. He, like I said, definitely ate the whole cookie, and I hope you guys give this a try. If you do, let me know in the comments how yours turned out. I hope my insight and wisdom can help you if you're making this for a kid and you know they're like milk chocolate, you know, oriented. I'm really glad that I used the vanilla protein powder and not the chocolate protein powder, because hopefully that, you know, helped with that, at least to some extent. So anyway, with that, I'm going to go and meet some wellness. One chocolate keto fudgy cookie, not for me, but for my son, at a time.